Real stir dancing. Everybody, we're back here with the 2025 Virtual Makers Retreat, and today I have Michelle here from 12 by 12 Cardstock. Hey,
Hi.
so where are you joining us from? I don't know, remember where you are based out of.
So I'm actually in Boise, Idaho, but 12 by 12 Cardstock Shop, the warehouse is in Provo, Utah. So
Cool.
yeah.
There's
Yeah,
so many crafting companies that are based out of Utah.
I know.
It is insane. I feel like I just need to go to Provo or I need to go to Salt Lake and just start like hopping between all the companies, going, hey, hey, hey.
That's why our warehouse is there because we can just like run over to Echo Park and run over to Simple Stories. And yeah, so
Yeah, there's
it's
no
very
delivery needed
convenient.
to have happen.
Right.
So
Yep.
for all of those watching, drop in where you're watching us from. I know a couple of people already mentioned they're from in Tennessee, or there was somebody else that said something about Alabama. So welcome everybody who's here. So for those that don't know anything about 12 by 12 cardstock or have not heard of this company before, can you give us a little bit of information about it?
I would love to. So we are an online only retailer and we have decided to focus just on cardstock. So we sell basic cardstock, like smooth and textured. We have foil, we have glitter, we have holographic, we have everything. So I can go through more like what our some of our lines are, but we sell American Crafts and Basil and Simple Stories and Echo Park and all the brands. And then we also have our own in-house brand, which is Encore. And we've really focused Encore specifically for cutting machines. So everything is tested to make sure it cuts well. So yeah, we have like I think the last time I looked, it was over 4,000 different papers in our shop. So anything you want,
Wow.
we've got. Yeah. Yep.
Do you even have like I'm wondering like because there's certain brands of papers that were like amazing, but they've shuttered their doors, they've closed up shop. Do you have like a vintage section of papers?
No, we don't. We have
That'd be cool.
some. I know. Yeah, we don't. We do have a few. American Crafts just moved their warehouse, but they used to be right near us. And so every so often they would like find something in the warehouse and give us a deal on it. So we do have some pattern papers that were like gone for a while that they
Hmm.
gave us a deal on. So that's the only thing really that would be vintage. But yeah.
It's weird to think that papers would be vintage, but you got to think about like some of these scrapbook papers, the 12 by 12s have been around since the
Right.
90s,
Yeah.
so it's like how cool it would be to like I just remember when I was first starting to get into scrapbooking, there was a release and I think it was by Bo Bunny and it was called Mamarazzi and it had like it was blue and black and it was all about moms taking pictures and
Hmm.
photographing and that was kind of the vibe. And does anybody remember this line? It was crazy. And to this day, I'm like, I never got it. I never bought it, but I remember it. And it was one of my favorite lines.
I think one of my favorites, I think it's also a Bow Bunny, and I still have it because I loved it so much. And it was called like Daisy D or something, but it was like a vintage kind of Easter. And I bought like I kept buying it just because I wanted to have it. I don't think I've ever used it, but I have several collection packs of it because I love it.
Crafters, we are definitely hoarders. There's paper lines. I'm like, no, I don't want to touch it. It's too pretty. I don't
Yeah.
want to mess it up. I like looking at it more than anything. Maybe I just need to frame it and put it on the wall and be like, that's how I could appreciate it and,
Yeah,
not cut into it or anything. Um, we're weird about that.
I know.
All right. So
Our
you had,
owners, oh, sorry, I was just gonna
go
say
ahead.
our owner,
No, no,
the owner of 12 by 12 is Lynette. Her husband, he also works for the company, and he is always saying, like, oh, crafters are buying for their projects. And I'm like, no, they're not. They're just buying paper because they love it and they want to have it. So yeah, I
we
get
have to have
it.
all the colors,
Right,
all the colors.
exactly. Yep.
So you had mentioned this special paper that you guys have, and I've got to play with it too, and it's called Encore. Why does it work so much better? Why does it cut so good? Like what makes this different and unique? And does it work on all the cutters? Because there's so many different brands out there now.
Yeah, it does. So the Encore textured is the primary. It's kind of like the first one we started. We have 106 colors right now. There are more colors coming very, very soon. But it has to do with just the way that the paper is manufactured and like the fiber length and count. So there's certain things that need to be done to make so that it cuts really cleanly and will cut really intricate designs. So the paper starts out white and then it's cut into sheets and then dyed all these different colors. So that's why
So
it's
is it
special.
a solid core cardstock that matches the paper, or is it a white core?
It is solid. Well, So there's actually two designations of color core. There's white core, of course, which everyone knows, and then there's solid core and color core. So solid core, Dazzle is a solid core, and it's made a little different where they take giant vats of paper pulp and they dye it at that point. So it's all dyed and then they press it into paper. That's solid core technically. And then color core is when it starts out as a white sheet and then the color is like applied to the sheet. So the
Okay.
color inside this is nearly identical to the shade of the paper. It might be just some of them, like on the darker colors, it'll be like slightly lighter, but it
Mm,
still is colored and you can't tell. So
got
yeah,
it. Now
paper
you
nerd
also
stuff.
have this really cool subscription box, and it's not just you get the papers, but there's a little bit more to it, which I think is really fun. You want to tell us about that?
Yeah. Yeah. So well, let me just go back here. So the Encore line, we also have foils. So these are all like we have mirror foils, we have some really pretty matte foils, and then we have iridescent foils, which this is my two favorite papers in the whole shop. They're
Ooh,
like
okay, I gotta get closer to my screen.
iridescent.
That's pretty.
Yeah, they're like silver, but then all kinds of colors. So we have glitter, I mean, sorry, we have foil, and then we have glitter. We have tons of glitter colors, and we have sequin colors, which is like little hexagon
Oh,
shaped glitter.
that's
Yeah.
pretty. They almost look like mermaid scales.
Yeah, right. So your subscription box includes we choose a color scheme for the month and then we pull cardstock, the texture cardstock, and then all kinds of specialty papers that match and coordinate. And it's most of it's Encore, but we also will pull in Dazzle or American Crafts or something else. So your kit, you get a coordinated set of papers for whatever the color scheme for the month is, and we try to match them to seasons and holidays. And then you get four mystery items. So these can be anything. We find really cool papers and they're only in the box, they're not in the regular shop, and they coordinate
Oh.
as well. So that's kind of fun. Yeah. And usually it's papers. Sometimes we've done like embellishments or envelopes or something like that, but mostly it's really cool papers. So,
And it's not just the papers, you also are getting the designs for the cards. And there's not just one, there's
yeah.
a few different cards. And then
Yep.
for those that have electronic cutting machines, the cut files to make them. And there's video instructions too.
Yep. Yeah. So you get the kit, and then every month there's also a project that you can use. It's like designed with the kit in mind, and it comes with free SVG files and a video tutorial. So this month, the kit obviously is Halloween. And so the class is three, these are easel cards, which is a little hard to show you, but
Oh, I
it's
love
three
easel
like
cards. They're so fun.
spooky little easel cards. So that's the class. Is that right side up? Yeah. And then, yeah, you get a video tutorial and you get SVGs, and then you have everything in your kit that you need to make the project. So it's kind of like
Very
an
fun.
all-in-one. You don't have to make the project if you don't want, but if you want, you have all the stuff you need to do that. So
I
people
got
are
the kit,
loving
what was
them.
it? The July kit. And
Hmm.
I then modified it, but this was the one that I made. And I followed the instructions. I looked at the video. Again, I kind of tweaked it a tiny bit, but I had so much fun. And this
So
one was like,
fun.
it's a glittery, shiny, shimmery paper.
Oh
And
yeah.
there's a question on here about the glitter paper or
Hmm.
like that mermaid scale. She says no shed.
Okay, so the sequin one, it sheds a little and it's basically it's not gonna like destroy a mat or anything. This actually cuts really good, which is totally surprising. When you look at it, you wouldn't think that. But what happens is when you cut and you cut one of those little sequins in half, sometimes you'll get some shed from you're basically like pulling them apart. So
Kind of like
you
breaking it in
do,
half. You might get the other half
yeah,
that's
yeah. So you do get a little bit of shed on the sequin. The glitter lux, hardly any shed, but that just a little shed. It's not does not just like come apart at all. So, and then we also have a no shed glitter paper, which I didn't grab that one. So we have lots of options.
Now, do you only have, so you mentioned a few, but I think I remember looking in the store you also had, because it's one of my favorite, especially for like white cardstock, is the Nina white cardstock. And I think you guys have
Hmm.
that available in the store as well, and it's not
Yeah.
just like there's white, off-white, ivory, like there was a whole list, like anything in the kind of the white category, light gray, cream,
Yes.
eggshell, the crew,
Yep.
let's go.
So for the Nina one specifically, we just have Solar White, and I think I can't remember what the off white is called, what the name of it is, but those ones, if you're a mixed media or a stamper or a Copic color, that paper is one of the best for that. It's called Nina Classic Crust is the brand, and it's super, super smooth. And when you color with Copics, it like absorbs just the right amount of ink. So it absorbs the ink, but it doesn't get that feathery bleed. So
Hmm.
that's a really good one if you're into inking and playing with markers and stuff. So, but we do have, I know what you're thinking. We have a Nina Star Dream collection, which is a smooth pearlescent, and that one we have like all the colors of the rainbow. So,
It
yeah.
was cool. I was like, I couldn't believe there were so many different variations of whitish tones.
Yeah,
Like that's
right.
insane. And then looking at your like your little swatch palettes that you have comparatively to like the Encores and all the other ones. Do you
Yeah.
only sell 12 by 12 or is there 8.5 by 11 stock in this in the shop as well? I know you say 12 by 12 card stock, but is it just
Yeah,
12 by 12s?
mostly. We do have our vellums are 8.5 by 11 because we figured a lot of people print on those. And then we have some just like very few, but we do have a few 8.5 by 11. We have some American Crafts 8.5 by 11, and that's probably about it. Yeah.
Cool. Somebody has a
Yeah.
question of what
Mhm.
weights of Nina do you carry?
Um, let's see. The Classic Crest is 80. The Star Dream, which is it's a pearlescent. I don't have any right with me, but it's a smooth pearlescent. That one is 92, so it's a little bit thicker and it cuts beautifully as well because it is just a little thicker. And then
Hmm.
we carry Nina Astro Brights, which are bright, fun colors, and that one is 65 pounds. So various weights.
Various ways. It just depends
Yeah,
on which
yeah,
particular Nina, because they have a whole range of stuff. But again, that's
yeah,
just one of the things that you carry. There's a whole plethora of
yeah.
tons of papers in there. I absolutely love that.
One of the
So don't
things,
forget. Oh, go ahead.
oh, sorry, I was saying one of the things that's fun about our website is we really miss like local scrapbook stores. That was such a fun time. And so we've tried to kind of
Hmm.
create that on our website. And if you hit just our main website, you can just shop by color. So you can like look at everything that's red or everything that's blue. And then we have filters on so you can refine it on the left if you want to like filter out a certain weight or a certain brand. You can kind of shop however you want because there are a lot of options. So we try to make it easy to figure out and find what you want.
So I was going to mention that down in the information section of this video, and also over on the coupon section or over on the main site, there's what to have cardstock. There's a link to go to their store, so that way you can go shop your little hearts out. And they are also giving a $40 gift certificate as one of the giveaways. So make sure you head over to the giveaway section so you can enter into the giveaways. So I have a question because every cutting machine is a little bit different. How do I know, especially with your Encore papers, and you've got like the mermaid one, you've got the foil, you've got the glitter, you've got the textured. Is there a spot on your website that says what's the best settings for each machine, or is there a guide or a printable or a PDF or something so we're not just shooting in the dark? Because I
Yeah,
feel like that's half the battle is knowing what
I
settings to put
know.
things on.
So we do have one for the Encore textured. If you go over to the site and just search Encore cutting guide, I believe, and it shows all the different machines, what setting to use for this is just the basic textured cardstock. We don't really have that for the specialty lines, but what I usually recommend on these, if you're a Cricut cutter, every machine's different, but let's just use Cricut for an example.
Okay.
I usually try to find something that would be similar. So I'm looking at glitter cardstock, and I would start with whatever their glitter cardstock setting is. And one of the mistakes people make is they'll like put their design on, choose glitter, and hit cut and cut the whole sheet, and then realize it didn't work. So when you're cutting a brand new paper, what I usually do is I'll cut just like tiny, about a fourth of an inch square in the corners of my paper, and I'll test like, okay, this is Cricut's recommendation for glitter. I test it
Hmm.
and then I look, how did it do? And I'll like bump it up or down, do another test, just doing small little tests in the corners so that I'm not ruining my whole sheet. Then once I get it dialed in, I can go ahead and cut, whatever I'm cutting. So
Makes
don't
sense.
ruin
Yeah.
your whole paper.
Definitely. I like cut little squares off, especially if I'm doing a few different varieties, and I'll just like out of the corner of the paper, and then I'll put that on there as like a test run. So
Hmm.
I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah.
And but I've still screwed it up and thought I had the perfect thing, and then it was more of an intricate design, or the paper shifted on the mat and did like that dragged
Yeah.
around thing. I'm like, ah, so frustrating.
Yeah. I love double cut. I mean, on your Cricut, you can go in and like do custom settings for, we have a video on our YouTube channel if you need help, but you can go in and do custom settings for your different papers. So for instance, like I have a setting I created that's a custom setting for the glitter, and it does just double cut because I just, even when you're doing everything right, sometimes you just, your machine will just miss a tiny little bit. And so the double
Yeah.
cut usually catches it on the next round. So that's
It's
kind of my
true. It's
secret.
true.
Yeah.
I've even done a triple cut sometimes, depending on the paper, or if it's been like a very intricate design, just to be safe. Because,
Yeah,
you know,
right. It's the worst when you think it's fine and then you start peeling it and you're like,
you're like, ah, and then
no,
like it
I know.
tears and yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I have a
Yeah.
love-hate relationship with all the cutting machines. I can cut anything I want, but then I hate it when it screws it up.
Yep, I know. I know.
Oh,
Yep.
somebody was saying that you could cut a small circle and use it as an embellishment if you wanted to. So you're
That's a
not
good
just cutting
idea.
some random shape. You could cut something that would be useful. Very
Yeah.
smart. Very smart.
Yep. One of our design
Very.
team members, she cuts circles out of all her little scraps, and then when she mails out a handmade card, she like, it's basically confetti that she throws in the envelope. So you could do that too. That'd be kind of fun.
That's cute. That would be a
Yeah.
very large, like I'm guessing she does like tiny
They're
circles, like
tiny. Yeah,
sequin
she
size.
has like a
Oh,
little
okay.
circle punch, and she just punches little tiny circles and throws them in there.
Got
Yeah.
it. For some reason, I was envisioning like she was cutting circles that were like this big. I'm like, that's kind of a weird thing to put in a card, but
Yeah.
okay. It's like glitter
Yeah.
bombing them, but in a weird way. Here's
Right.
some giant circles.
But they are easier to pick up, I guess, when you get them
That's
all
true.
over the
That's true.
place. Yeah.
So, is there any hints you can give us on the subscription box that's coming up in the next couple of months?
Well, so this month is Halloween, and we try to do them like well in advance so you have time to get it and then create. And then we have two Christmas boxes. So
Ooh,
we're doing 2 months of Christmas. The first one is going to be Elegant Noel, and it's more of a gold and like darker red and kind of that forest green. And then the one
very
after
traditional.
that, yeah, the one after that is I can't remember what the name of it is, but it's more of like funky, fun Christmas. And so it's more like red. I think there's like a kind of a pinkish red in there. It's more like candy themed Christmas. So
Okay.
yeah. So you'll have
More like on
lots
the
of
fun,
Christmas.
whimsical side. I
Right.
always
Yeah.
love something about like the pink, the red, the teal, like and just kind of going in that. Like those cards can look so cute with those fun colors
Yeah.
together.
Do you like non-traditional color palettes for holidays?
I think it depends on my mood. I'm weird like that, you know? It just depends. Am I more in the I want to be very, I don't know. I like the whole
Yeah.
gambit. I like it all. Sometimes I want to have just very plain Jane cards, and so I'll stick. Sometimes I want to go super foofy and like put
Hmm.
flowers on it, and like and just kind
Yeah.
of go. It just I go with where my gut's feeling at that
Yeah.
moment. But yeah, I like it all. My mother, on the other hand, is a very traditional. She'll look through all the cards that I've made, and I also host card swaps too. If anybody's
Hmm.
interested, I can talk more about that later. But so I get all these cards in, and then I keep some because I add some into the card swaps. And then she comes in. The ones that she picks are always the traditional colors. She
Yeah.
never picks the ones that the pinks and or like they have funky colors in it. I'm like, but it's a beautiful card. She's like, yeah, but I like traditional. I'm like, all right, it's your
Yeah.
jam. It's your card. Take your pick.
I I think people are passionate about that. I like the non-traditional colors, but I think people are kind of passionate about that. Some people are just like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not putting pink on my Halloween stuff. It's funny,
Whereas,
but
like, I made a Halloween card that's rainbow. So, I mean, it's like
yeah,
whatever, you know.
yeah,
If it's cute and it works, I go for it. We have a
yeah.
question here, and they said, will you continue to be carrying the Dreaming Tree kits now that they're with Creative Fabrica?
Yep, we are. Yeah, I actually had a meeting with Creative Fabrica just a couple weeks ago, and we're totally on board. So they've moved
Great.
all the Dreaming Tree kits onto or I mean files onto Creative Fabrica now, and we're just slowly building those kits. So our goal is to eventually have them all. But yeah, we are slowly building them. The only thing we are kind of running into issues on is some of the very older ones where they used like if it's primarily pattern papers, and those don't exist anymore. Some of those we'll
Uh,
probably skip, but other than that, we're really,
or you
really
could do like
working on
a
them.
substitution
Yeah,
alternative, I guess. You know, if
yep.
there's
We're
a best fitish, I
yeah,
don't know.
we're trying to still kind of work that out. But yeah. So yes, totally on board with that.
I love how people are commenting like non-traditional. That's the colors we like. Leave the comments. Are you a traditional color Christmas person or a
Interesting.
non-traditional, or are you whatever goes? Depends on the mood.
Yeah.
Depends on the moment. Because that's kind of different.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody's saying they love the Dreaming Tree designs. They have some really cute designs. And it's not just cards, it's anything that you could want to
Yeah.
cut. Like they've done stuff like they have seen treat boxes and flowers, and there's a whole slew of different designs.
Yeah.
They've got even, oh, there's little ones and then there's like giant ones too.
They
It's
just
quite
came
cool.
out with Santa's Workshop. It's like a little Christmas like workshop house. I mean, it's not, I shouldn't say little, it's a big project. But I think it was like maybe August or July when they launched as part of their Christmas in July. And we sold so many kits of that. I mean, it is a
Oh, that's
huge
cool.
project. I think it was like 38 sheets of cardstock to make it. But yeah, it's a
Wow.
fun one if you love big dimensionals like that. So
So
yeah.
do you have to go to say, okay, so how it works, because now that everything's transitioned over,
Hmm.
you go over to Creative Fabrica, you buy the digital thing, and then is
Hmm.
there a link to direct you back over to you guys, or can they buy it? How do you make sure you have the right kit that goes with the right files? How does that all work?
That's exactly it. So on their site, if there's a kit available for it, there's a link you can click right on their product page. So you can just click over and buy it. And then they also have supply lists. So if we don't have a kit made, they have supply lists available and you can like put things in your cart by yourself. But we want to
Got
make
it.
it easy. So eventually we will have kits for every single file. So
Very cool.
yeah.
And then do
Yep.
you have them on your site as like if we searched on your site too for those
Hmm.
kits? Are they okay? So
Yeah.
I could go to
Yeah.
either place and find it
Yep. So you can search Dreaming Tree on our site and then you'll see all the kits available and then there's links on our product page
to go back
that
over
go,
there.
yeah. Yeah.
See, I love
So
it. Like it,
I
you guys
know.
are helping each other out one way or the other. So it works
Yeah,
both ways.
we're good friends with Dreaming Tree, so we love helping each other out. So yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So again, you can go down in the information section. There's a link to head over to 12 by 12 cardstock, and then you can head over, look at the Dreaming Tree kits, and then go get yourself some files and make some really cute Christmas houses or
Yes.
whatever you need to make. And then also make sure you go check out those subscription boxes because I think I would want to have one of both because I'd want to do the traditional and then
Hmm.
I'd want to make the non-traditional because I'm
Right.
weird like that. And it seems
Yep.
to be almost a 50-50 split here. We've got all many like traditional, non-traditional. People are like, I love it all. That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
All right, we have
I'm
another question here. Is it recommended to store 12 by 12 cardstock horizontally or vertically?
hmm. I
Well,
think
I
it
can
kind of,
show you on mine. This is how
yeah.
I store it. Like I have, you can just see it right there. So I'm a horizontal girl,
Yeah. I think
but I have
vertical,
that.
it just depends. Like if you've got things packed in there pretty tight so it stays vertical. I have, so I do, you can see I have some vertical up here, but those are all American crafts that are in like the cardboard
Oh, like the
carriers.
plastic? Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
so they come in boxes and it's that way, because if it's loosely in there, it'll bow. And if you're a scrapbooker, then your sheets are all bowed. It's not such a big deal if you're putting it on a mat and cutting, but I
Right.
store mine flat unless it's in like a cardboard box like that. So,
I will say horizontally, it is harder to find the colors. I feel like this
hmm,
always feels like it's a mess to me.
yeah,
Because vertically you could like go through like almost like it's your clothing, like clothing hangers,
yeah, yeah,
but then yeah, the weight of it would bend and then the bottom it might warp over
hmm,
time. So I guess it just depends on what space you have, what works for you. And are
yeah.
you willing to potentially have a little bit of a warping issue, or are you just willing to deal with a crazy mess like I have on mine?
I have some of mine. So I have, you probably can't see, but I have these cubes that have some stuff in it. But right here, I have some flat, like, and it has all of my Encore lines in it. And I actually put them in, I bought these big storage envelopes from Amazon. So I have like each line stacked, sorted by color, and
Oh,
then stacked in these envelopes. So it's a little more manageable because I know like this shelf is all the foils, and then I can like pull by color. But I mean, let me just say, I start out that way and then it turns into like a hot disaster. The top part is just all kinds of things shoved in there because I haven't sorted them back out. So,
organization, I feel like is the
yeah.
bear of like we love to be organized because we're able to find it, but then at least for me, I hate cleaning up, so it's always okay. I want to get the next project quickly, put
Yeah,
everything away, so it just gets thrown in there. And the top
right.
one of mine, here, like jump back over. Oh, Here we go. So the very, very top one over here, I'm gonna turn my camera, that is turned into that. Well, I just don't know what to do with it yet. So it gets thrown on the top
That's
shelf.
exactly what mine is. My top
So it's
one
a
is
hot
just,
mess.
yeah,
It's a
yep,
hot mess.
yeah. I have good intentions, but yeah,
Trying to
I
be, but it doesn't
know.
always end up being that way. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
I have another
Oh, here's,
secret too.
oh,
When I start doing summit classes, like, I do summit classes and then the monthly subscription classes. When I get down to the wire and I'm in that season where I'm like, I have like 4 of them due in a week and a half or whatever, I start just like I just scrape my mats right onto my floor. I don't even mess with the garbage can. It's so bad. And then I just
oh
vacuum.
my
I'm
gosh.
like, so right now I have like a confetti party on my carpet and then I'll just vacuum it up and start over. It's fine. So, yeah.
You need to get one of those little robot cleaners that just come by and fix it
Yeah,
all up.
that's a good idea, actually.
We
Yeah.
have one, we named it Eva, after Wally, because we have one in the pool that's Wally, and then we have Eva in the house.
That's cool.
And she's white, so she runs around the house in the
Mhm.
morning at 5 o'clock before we all wake up, and dog hair too. But there's been many a paper piece that she has picked up around my desk for sure.
That's smart. That's what I need. Yep. Yeah.
It's very nice to come down and have like the floors clean in the morning. There's still,
Yeah.
of course, shoes and dog toys and a backpack, and the kids have left stuff everywhere. But and inevitably, there's been some cord that has been dragged across the house because somebody
Oh
didn't put their charging cord away.
no.
But eh,
Yeah.
less
Oh
fur, less
well.
fur.
Right.
All right, we do have another question here. Do you have codes for your paper colors?
Um, I
I'm
think you're
guessing
probably
barcodes, maybe?
referring, I bet they're probably talking about like hex codes.
Mm,
Um, yeah, and we don't really have those. If we do have a Pantone color chart for our Encore textured colors, but that's about it. We don't have, it's been requested before and something we've thought about doing. I know some people like to design, um, like they want to design with the actual colors that the
hmm.
cardstock will be. So I will say we've talked about doing that. We haven't firmed anything up, but we've talked about providing that. Or like it for people who design in Illustrator, maybe we would have a like an Encore color palette that you could upload there.
Oh,
So
right, 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 right.
yeah.
So like to match the CMYK kind of.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep. Yeah.
Got it.
So
Got it.
the
Got
answer is no, but maybe.
it. Maybe down the line. It's
Maybe
been
down the
talked
line.
about, and maybe it'll happen soon.
Yep.
Oh, is somebody asking me, is that where all my tiny missing metal dies wind up? No, it was over on a different, I had a video where I like, it was a box that I hadn't opened up in a very long time. And I found a die buried in there. And I think it had been 5 or 6 years. And I knew I had it because there was a set of three and it was like a hexagon stacking thing. And it was actually not, you can't see where I'm pointing. Let me change the screen again. So it wasn't over here. It was over there, like by my computer desk. Anyway, but I found it. It was like, oh, well, there it is. I
Oh
knew I
yeah.
wasn't
So it must
imagining
have
that there was,
fallen in there at some
it
point.
had fallen in there a long time ago because I have my dies set up as like on magnetic boards.
Oh yeah. That's
So
cool.
yeah,
That's a
and so it
smart
had fallen
idea.
off at one point and fell into something.
How funny. Yeah.
These are like all my audience knows all my little tiny secrets now of where everything is.
Well, now they know mine too. Yep.
Just don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Well, we need to wrap this up because we got to get ready for our next live stream with our next sponsor after this. But just remind everybody, go down the code or the link to go over to 12 by 12 Cardstock is down in the information section, and make sure to enter into that giveaway so you can have potentially win a gift card, and then you can pick out whatever you like out of 12 by
Yes.
12 Cardstock. I love it.
Yep.
Love it. Thank you so much for being with
Yeah.
us today. I truly appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, I hope you have an amazing day, and we're going to go ahead and sign up. So bye,
Thank
everybody.
you. Bye.